the most important part of any financial plan is understanding what you're planning for. And to understand what you're planning for, that's goals.
What is the number one secret to unlocking your money mindfulness or our money mindfulness? What would be the first thing you would like to share with us here?
Yeah, the most important thing I think we can do is actually go inside. This makes a lot of sense when you think about my background, starting off as a seminarian and becoming a Buddhist academic. And you don't have to meditate. I recommend that you do, but you don't have to. The most important part of any financial plan is understanding what you're planning for. And to understand what you're planning for, that's goals. That's what are the things that are most important to you. And that starts with purpose, and purpose starts with values. So we built a course, and it's free on our website when you go to it. It's a values, purpose, and goals course. And the most important step when you're starting to think about your financial future is really understanding what you want it to look like. Once you know what you want it to look like, it's very easy to create a plan to get there. But if you don't know, if you don't go internal, if you don't think about it and don't spend some time with it, the world will just give you things to be worried about. The world will just wonderfully, here, you should pursue this, or you should pursue that. Your parents will give you a job path. Your peer group will tell you how to spend your money. If you go to social media, you'll see the kinds of things you're supposed to want. But if you don't go internal and think about it yourself, you'll never know what will bring you happiness and what will bring you well-being. And you'll always be on the search for more. And that's unnecessary. You don't need more, you need enough.
Okay, so make sure I captured that. So go inside, right? And that could involve meditating or not, but you do recommend that. And really understanding your values, your purpose, and your goals, and what is it that you're planning for, for this chapter of your life, for the season of your life, for the future of your life and your family, and how that involves with finances. And then I do like that quote you said, the world will give you things to worry about, right? Isn't that so true? I mean, that's where we're at in this world where they're telling us everything we should be worried about, we should be angry about, we should be upset about, we should be doing something about, right? I mean, it's constant, and it's from maybe 100 voices, right, in 100 directions, 100 times a day, and it can be quite a bit of the opposite of being mindful. It could be kind of chaotic. So maybe walk us into the second secret or the second step once you've done the first one. But also, any thoughts on what I just said?
Yeah, I mean, it's so true. We are inundated every day, and there's something just to understand, and that's everyone is selling you. Everything you hear, every message, every commercial, every political message, everyone is trying to get you on their side. Everyone is, and that's not bad. Like, we should just expect that people are going to look out for what's important to them. Like, maybe it's animals in the shelter that's important to them, and so they're going to post things on Facebook or on Twitter about how you should support animals in the shelter. Maybe it's financial. Maybe it's helping the homeless. Maybe it's whatever it is. Every message you get is designed to move you in some way, or to show you how important the messenger is. And if you understand that, then you go, okay, well, that's their thing. What's my thing? So we keep coming back to that first thing: is what's important to me. What do I need to do? When it comes to our space is finance. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. We work with a lot of artists, writers that are very successcable. And the thing that they want to do is they want to build something. They want to write something. They want to create a company. They don't want to worry about their finances. So what we've created the easiest path, which for us is more like passive investing. I know that a lot of your listeners, and I've listened to a few of your episodes, are very active in the process. And there are some people that are very active, and that's fantastic. That's what they want to do. There's some people that don't want to think about the money. They actually want to be dedicated to something else. They want to be dedicated to their art, or to their business, or to their nonprofit that they founded, or what have you. And in doing that, they still have to keep an eye on it. They still have to think about it. They still have to pay some attention to their own financial success, because one day we all retire. One day we all rely on those assets. One day we need an income that we can't outlive, in retirement at some point. So how do we get there?
Excellent. Yeah, no, I think that's there's a lot of wisdom there, and it is understanding that we're being, words matter, and what we allow into our hearts, into our minds, right? And everyone, and people care, right, about there is passion in this world, and that's important, right? But realize that it's it can be, it may not be aligned with your values and your purpose and your goals and what you've been called to do and the people you've been called to serve, right? And it's protecting yourself from not being inundated with things that are distracting or not helping you in your purpose. So, okay, so that's kind of understanding that where we're at and the realities of those facts. So maybe that's kind of step number one. What would be step number two once we're moving towards money mindfulness? What's the second secret here?
Well, so if the first step is understanding where you're going, the second step is actually creating a plan to get there, right? Is understanding the trade-offs you're going to have to make along the way. In the process of setting your goals, you're doing a couple things. One, you're identifying the things that are important to you. Two, you're identifying the things that are not as important to you. And so now, as you move forward into the world, you know that you've agreed, in this process, you've agreed that I'm not going to pursue this and this and this and this, so that I have the higher probability of achieving this and this and this and this, right? I'm trading things off in my life. How this shows up in life in many places, and I live here in the San Francisco Bay Area, it's very expensive to live here. But there's a question. If it's cheaper to live in Pinole and commute to San Francisco, and you can get a bigger house for that, is it worth the 2-hour time spent in commuting every day? And these are trade-offs. These are trade-offs we can make either just happenstance or we can make intentionally. And to get to that intentional trade-off and to write these into a documented plan that can carry you through. Your plan is something that can do two things for you. It can defend you against bad decisions. So what does my plan say I'm supposed to do here? It can also be the thing that pulls you through. What are my goals? Well, I have those in my plan. If I just follow this plan, I see that 10 years of doing this, I'll get to this thing that's really important to me, whether it's retirement or sending a kid to school or that the second home purchase that's in Napa or up in Tahoe. And so having these things written down, creating a path, which is date specific, dollar specific, that fits within your resources, like how much can I save to actually make these things happen, and then simplifies the step that most advisors spend the most time on, simplifies the investment step. It's investing shouldn't be that complex. It shouldn't be that active. The research all tells us that those folks who are the most active are not necessarily the most successful. The people that are most active, put the most effort and time into investing in a better way, don't actually end up with better returns. And so what can you do to do it really simply and really easily and still get there? First, you got to know where there is, got to make your trade-offs, and then you keep it simple.
Excellent. Yeah, tons of wins in there.